All right, so if you all will please look up at the monitors, you will see that this is the Spalding County State Court. My name is Josh Thacker, I'm your judge, and this is the ticket arraignment calendar. I want to start out by saying that here in the Spalding County State Court, we believe that each and every one of you, as you interact with this court, deserve the respect and dignity that you would wish for someone you care about. We'll extend that to each and every one of you as we interact with you all here today. Hey, do not talk during court. Our goal is to resolve your case efficiently, get you back to your lives as quick as we can. I assume we're all in agreement on that. And I cannot do that if y'all are having sidebar conversations, and frankly, I won't have much patience for it. Okay, nobody is virtual. Okay, so earlier I came out for about 10 of you who are here early and asked you to turn on your phones and follow those directions. So at this point, I'm going to ask everybody to take out your phones and turn them off. Because now we're going to start home court, and if your phones are pinging and dinging and chirping and tweeting and whatever, then we're not going to be able to do much court. So, all right, got a lot of movement out there. Thank you all for listening. So, it's always scary when I say that announcement and only one person moves. It makes me wonder what I missed. Okay, this is the correct courtroom for you. If you were issued a citation, this would have been the Spalding County Sheriff's Office deputy. Here in Spalding County, the citation told you to be here today. If what I'm saying does not sound correct, feel free to step out into the hallway, show your paperwork to the bailiff, they'll point you in the right direction. Today is what's called your arraignment. So I'm going to go over your rights with you. I'm going to tell you what your options are, and then there's no attorneys here, you're going to tell me what to do with your case. You may have a trial. There are two types of trials. There's a jury trial where 6 jurors issue a verdict in that box over there to your left. And then there's a bench trial where I issue the verdict with no jury present. You may have a conference with the solicitor's office. That's this group over here to your left. They represent the state of Georgia. And then you can ask me about an attorney, and I'll give you instructions on how to apply with the public defender's office. Now, your charges in this courtroom are misdemeanors. The average misdemeanor carries a maximum punishment of 12 months to serve in the Spalding County Jail and or a $1,000 fine. Now, a few minor traffic charges like seatbelts have a lower maximum fine, and a few high and aggravated charges have high and aggravated misdemeanors have up to a $5,000 maximum fine. Now, each of you here have the right to a speedy and public jury trial, where 6 citizens of Spalding County decide guilt or innocence on each of your charges. You can also choose a bench trial. That's where I make the guilt or innocence decision without a jury present. You can also waive your right to a trial and close your case with a plea if you so choose. Now, I have no preference. You must knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently choose for yourself. Now, each of you here have the right to be presumed innocent, to force the state to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, to cross-examine the state's witnesses, to subpoena your own witnesses and evidence to court. You have the right to testify or not testify, to not incriminate yourself, and if you choose to remain silent, your silence cannot be held against you. Now, each of you here have the right to have an attorney. You may hire your own attorney if you so choose. However, if you cannot afford an attorney, then you can apply with the public defender's office. Now, this is the warning I need to give you because I'm amazed at how many people test me on this. If you want the public defender's office to represent you, you must apply ASAP. I'm amazed at how many people come back to the next calendar and then ask me for another continuance to give them more time to go a block and a half from here to apply with the public defender's office. Just so you know, if you come back and do that, my answer is very likely going to be no. All right, you've been warned. An attorney would help you understand our criminal justice system, would explain what your charges are and what the defenses are to those charges, file motions on your behalf, engage in plea negotiations, subpoena witnesses and evidence for your defense, conduct a trial on your behalf, make objections, and otherwise work to protect you. All right, it is my job to explain first offender and conditional discharge. So here's how these work. They each allow you to enter a guilty plea without being convicted, but you only get one of each for your entire life. So first offender is for everything but traffic-related charges, so no DUIs, and then conditional discharge is for drug-related charges only. All right, no-low contendere. So this one does apply to most all of you. So a no-low plea, which is what we call it for short, is where you enter a guilty plea, but you do not admit guilt. And it is available on most all traffic charges. So you get one no-low every 5 years. And that's measured from the incident date to incident date, ticket date to ticket date. The NOLO will usually prevent points. It will usually save your license. It will not help you much if you are under 21. All right, if you're here today and you are not a U.S. citizen, then you need to know that any conviction will very likely have a negative impact on your immigration status. All right, habeas corpus. It is my job to explain this weird old law called habeas corpus. It does all kinds of things in all different situations, but for our purposes here today, at this moment, here's how it works. If you get convicted of these charges by any means, trial, plea, doesn't matter, you may sue Spalding County civilly over in Superior Court to challenge this conviction. Now, what I need you to know more than anything else is how long you got it till it's gone. So, traffic charges, which is most all of you, have 6 months from the date of conviction to use your habeas rights before they expire. Everything else in this courtroom has a 12-month window before it expires. All right, you may conference today with the solicitor's office. And if that's what you choose to do, you'll announce conference and you'll wait here in the courtroom till your name is called. There's no attorneys here. The solicitor's office, again, this group over here to your left, they represent the state of Georgia. They are not your attorneys. If you reach an agreement with them, then you can resolve your case today. If you do not reach an agreement with them, you've waived absolutely nothing. You just simply tell them that you'd like a trial or tell the bailiffs. We'll have you sign your paperwork and move you on out in that direction. All right, if your ticket is payable and you wish to close your case without a trial, you have 3 options. Number 1, if you have the fine amount, you may pay it and you may close your case. The other side of the spectrum is that if you don't have the fine amount, you can enter a guilty plea. It will very likely end up where you're placed on probation, and that probation will terminate upon completion. So think of those as 2 ends of the spectrum. But now we have a new program. We call it our 30 for 30 program. We totally did not steal that from ESPN. And if you wish to have a middle option between the 2, we now can offer that, and we're very proud of this system. It works great for everybody. It's called 30 for 30, and the way it works is, if you don't have the fine amount, but you don't want to be placed on probation, you'll ask for a conference with the solicitor's office. If they recommend it, then what will happen is you'll enter a plea just like normal, but I'll delay the start of your probation sentence by 30 days, 30 for 30. You pay a $30 program fee to participate in that program. And then if you pay your fine plus $30 in full before the 30 days is up, you do not have any probation, and you do not have any probation conditions because your case will close before they kick in. That's the 30 for 30 program. The Griffin Municipal Court rolled it out. It was a huge success, and frankly, we repurposed it for our courtroom. I was going to say stole, but that's wrong from up here. Okay, so if you're unsuccessful in resolving your case, no worries. Your probation automatically starts 31 days out, and then you get to complete your probation. Now, if you do receive probation, so if you do end up with probation with us, you will be supervised by Spalding County Sentence Enforcement. There will be a one-time $25 intake fee on your case. 100% of all fines may be worked off with community service work at a rate of $10 per hour. There is a $50 per month supervision fee each month. It is mandatory, but it can be waived after a separate hearing before me. Now, for those of you that want to go over to a trial calendar, this is what you need to know. All the trials, jury trials and bench trials, go on the same 2-week trial calendar. Week 1, you'll be assigned a date and time to come back for your calendar call. And then after your calendar call, we'll all skip a week in the middle to prepare for trial. And then at the beginning of week 2, jury trials and bench trials will begin at 9 a.m. sharp that next Monday. We will run, you will appear each and every day until your case is resolved, and we will run 2 or 3 courtrooms that week. We will reach your case for trial. Okay, do you want to help your friends and family? Because we're still a small enough community where everybody knows somebody who knows everybody. So here's the deal. If you recognize the name of somebody that I'm going to issue a warrant for, call them, tell them to get down here ASAP, and you will definitely save them a great deal of future trouble. Okay, calendar call. So I'm about to call the calendar. When you hear your name called, if you're able, stand up for me so that I can see who we're addressing. If you're not able to stand up, just wave your hand real high. Because I don't have any attorneys here, here's your instructions. You're going to stand up, and then you're going to yell out what you want me to do, louder than you think you should. So you're going to yell jury trial, or bench trial, or conference, or attorney. And then I will give you the next set of instructions and then we'll go from there. Mr. Shepard's actually gonna be the one that called the calendar. And hey, if anybody here is under 21, when you make your announcement, just say I'm also under 21 so we can mark that. Okay, that's it. Mr. Shepard, the floor is yours.
So we got Jean Ametepe, Ametepe, last name? Hey.
Hey.
Ali Amina. That's her page up here. Kiana Anthony. That's her page up here. And Tyria Austin. Judge, this is 4 counts of child safety belt. We're gonna ask for a bench warrant.
Well, and that name is super familiar, and so it's great. I don't know why the name is familiar, but that's not a good
That
sign.
one wasn't ringing a bell, but 4 counts of 4 kids not in car seats. Alyssa Babbage. That's her page up here. Quinteris Bailey. That's her page up here. Denarius Banks. That's her page up here. Deshaun Barkley. That's her page up here. Janessa Battle.
Okay, what would you like to do?
Conference.
Okay, thank you.
McQuell Beck. That's her page up here. Shalundra Beckham. No, this is 2 child safety seats. That's for a bench warrant on that also.
Okay, I'll set a cash box.
Enough's enough on those child seats. DeQuente Benning.
Conference, thank you.
It's crazy. Victoria Bibbs. That's for a page up here. Brianna Bishop.
She's right here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which one do you need to choose. She's deaf and she's gonna need an interpreter.
Okay,
So what should,
are you there? Are you able to communicate
I
with?
am not.
You're not, okay.
Communicate that well.
Okay, hold on just a minute.
Okay.
And, I'm gonna talk to Mr. Shepard and we'll get a plan.
All right.
So,
Thank you.
I have one half formed, I just need to confirm it with him before I go.
Okay. Thank you. We had no idea what to do.
No, it's okay. This is, we have a person named, Ms. Ty, who does all of our, American Sign Language interpreting. I just don't have her here today.
Okay.
So give us just a minute, we'll figure it out.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Damu Bridgewater.
Conference.
Ernest Brooks. That's right.
Oh, what would you like to do with your case?
Bench trial.
Do you want to talk to the public defender's office? If I use the microphone, does that make it better?
A little bit.
Okay. Do you want to talk to an attorney?
No, I don't need to talk to an attorney.
Okay, and you want a bench trial?
Yes, sir.
All right. If you will please step out into the hallway, you're gonna sign 2 documents, a bench trial request and a reset notice.
Okay.
And don't leave until they come talk to you.
Okay.
Do y'all have a bench trial form or do you need to print one?
I have one.
You have one, great. All right, you may step into the hallway. Public defender's office is waiting.
All right. Jenny Brooks. Well, that's her page up here. Laredo Browner. That's her page up here. Melinda Brown. That's her page up here. Glenda Brumley.
Conference.
All right, thank you.
Brandy Bird Frazier.
Conference.
Thank you.
Kristen Kane. That's her page up here. Jerry Callahan. That's her page up here. Devontae Carr.
Conference.
Jasmine Carswell. Ready to appear. Michael Sloan, Jr.,
All right, thank you.
Randall Smith,
I think there's 3 separate cases. I think.
There is.
there are. Alright, no answer?
No answer.
Alright, we'll ask for a bond forfeiture.
Okay, and these are officially now not reset. I guess you could pay those. Hold on. Yes, plate retirement requirements, stop sign, seatbelt, unregistered. Okay, I'll set a cash bond.
Ricky Smith. That's for failure to appear. Tracy Smith. That's for failure to appear. Troy Smith.
Troy Smith, conference, sir.
Conference, thank you.
Caesar Stevens. That's for failure to appear.
Like, you can,
Oh, Stevens or?
Caesar Stevens.
yes.
Okay. We'll draw the failure to appear on that. So I got Jason Stewart. That's for failure to appear. Heather Taylor. Well, that's for failure to appear. King Brine Taylor. That's for failure to appear. Stephen Taylor. That's for failure to appear. Jasmine Terrell.
Conference.
Thank you.
And Ms. Terrell, you got 2 cases, you understand that?
Did you got you got pulled over 2 different times?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just want to make sure you're aware of that.
All right, Jaquez Thompson. That's for failure to appear. Deshauna Turner. That's a suspended registration, no insurance. Well, that's for a bond forfeiture and benchmark.
Granted.
Tavares Veal.
Conference. Conference, thank you.
Stephen Walden. That's for failure to appear. Shalina Wallace. That's for failure to appear. Princess Watson.
Conference.
All right, thank you.
Christopher Welch.
Conference.
Andrew Wellmaker. Another multi-child restraint. Well, that's for bond forfeiture and bench warrant on that.
Granted, I'll set a cash bond.
This is hard to read too. Looks like Amber Wolowski.
Soko.
Wasoko?
Conference.
How do you spell your last name?
WESOO.
Okay.
Yeah. Handwriting stuff to read. Alright. Kwajalein Wilder. That's for failure to appear. Xavier Wilcox.
Conference.
Thank you.
Devon Williams.
Conference.
Conference. Okay, thank you for that.
Brian Wilson. That's for failure to appear. Carlos Wilson.
All right, thank you.
Dennis Wilson. That's for failure to appear. Kenny Wilson.
Thank you.
Eric Wolthall. That's for failure to appear. Bradarius Wright. That's for failure to appear. Sonia Wynn.
Conference.
Thank you.
Regina Young. That's for failure to appear. Rachel Zaboth.
All right, conference under 20 hours. Got it, thank you. Okay. All right, so a couple of announcements, pick everybody else up. If you are here today and your name was not called, stand up for me. There's always a good handful, except when there's not. Okay, we'll take it. All right, so, all right, that's fine. So, Mr. Shepherd, would you like to make some announcements?
I will just shuffle some papers real quick.
Sure.
can't do right folks this afternoon, so they're just gonna be, we have to reset that.
I'll talk to them. Yeah, I'll talk to them.
These are the receipts.
They're gonna have to come back.
Yeah, you're helping out.
This is, let's go up here.
You've asked for a conference. What's going to happen is in a few minutes, we're going to get rolling on those. Either Miss Sherry Middleton here in the green and white shirt or Miss Lenise Fletcher with the white and flowery shirt over there. We'll start calling names. We call 7 or 8 or so at a time. When your name is called, you're going to follow either Miss Fletcher or Miss Middleton out the double doors over here to my right and your left. There's a hallway that leads to a waiting area outside of my office where there's a bunch of chairs. Have a seat in one of those chairs. I'll call you back one at a time for your conference. When you're done with your conference, you're going to come back down the same hallway through the same set of double doors. Quietly have a seat here in the courtroom to either enter your plea or get instructions for your trial date. When you come back down the hallway, into the courtroom, make sure you do use those double doors, not that single door. If you come through that single door, you will disrupt court, make Judge Thacker mad, not a good way to start the Tuesday afternoon. There's obviously a bunch more y'all than there are of me, but I do this all the time. I move quick. We'll have everybody out of here in a decent hour today. All right, thank y'all.
All right, so here's my next set of instructions. And the team has already heard me do this all day, every day, but here's the deal. The instructions you're about to give are as follows. Step to the restroom, get back to your seats. Like, it's that simple. But statistically, one of you is gonna randomly decide to go home. So, don't be the one that randomly decides to go home, because what's gonna happen is Deputy Piper is gonna come pick you up, he's gonna take you to the jail, and then you're gonna stay there, because that's obviously where I need you to get you to court. So, don't be that person that volunteers to go to the jail. So here's your instructions. We're gonna take a quick break, and I want you all to step to the restroom and then come back. In the meantime, I'm gonna let Mr. Shepard get resettled, and then, David. certain that you understand what you're doing and get your case closed with a plea. May I please see Val? It's Janasia, right?
Janasia.
Janasia. If you'll, names are important, we'll get it right moving forward. So Val, if you'll please come up and raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly, oh, I'm left-handed, I'm totally with you, so, all right. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to take hand up. And as a left-hander, I just want to say, it's a little offensive that like, I can't raise my left hand to give an oath, I'm supposed to raise my right hand, but just thought you know, I've raised my left hand my whole life, so. All right, here we go. You were on time for court this afternoon, is that correct?
Yes.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
No, sir.
You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document as the written version of those rights?
Yes.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1
Yes.
and page 2?
Yes.
And is this your signature?
Yes.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes.
Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything on this document?
No, sir.
Did you see on here where I'm pointing where it says you have the right to have an attorney represent you? And of course, it goes over all the rights of all the things an attorney would do on your behalf.
Yes.
And you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
All right. You understand that you have the right to a jury trial,
Yes.
including all the rights I'm pointing at here. And do you understand that by entering this plea, you're giving up that right to a jury trial?
Yes.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Battle, do you have any other questions for me about the self-represented defendant plea rights waiver or anything else before I pivot to the facts of your case?
No, sir.
All right. Did you, here in Spalding County, back on March 8th of 2023, operate your motor vehicle at a speed, a reduced speed of 39 miles an hour in a 25-mile-an-hour zone?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to find with your admission of guilt to the reduced charge of speeding 39 and a 25, but there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm going to find that you were knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights in entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation. I think it is appropriate, and I'm going to follow it exactly the way you negotiated it. Are there any questions about anything I can answer before I sentence?
No, sir.
All right. So, Mr. Nation Battle, on 23 TK 1117 from March 8th of 2023, count 1 speeding, 39 and a 25, 14 over, I'm going to find you guilty. It's 12 months probation and a fine of $213. I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days. And if you pay $213 plus $30 within the next 30 days for a 30 for 30 program, then your case will close with no conditions of probation needing to be checked off. If you are unable to pay the fine in full plus $30 within the next 30 days, then 31 days from now, your probation will start and your following conditions will be required. You will show a valid license to probation. You'll have no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products. You'll be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver for searches and $50 per month supervision fee and a one-time payment of $25 as a intake fee. Lastly, your case will close. If it comes to that, your case will still close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Do you remember me talking about habeas earlier?
Yes, sir.
And do you remember reading about it right there on the back of the fact sheet?
Yes, sir.
All right. Are there any questions of any type I can answer for you before you and I part ways?
No, sir.
All right, Ms. Battle, I'm going to hand you off to Mr. Richards. He's going to walk you out those double doors, and I'm going to wish you best of luck. Car. Monte Car. All right. If you will please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
All right, taking it down. State your full name for me.
Devontae Carr.
All right, and Mr. Carr, you're here on 23 TK 2581, and according to my calendar, you are on time for court today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights that are read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes,
Did you understand those rights?
yes.
Any questions I can answer for you about any of those rights?
No.
All right. All right, Mr. Carr, you passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document I'm holding up?
Yes.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes.
Page 2?
Yes.
Is this your signature?
Yes.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes.
Did you see on here, as well as heard me say, that you have the right to have an attorney represent you
Yes.
and you're here representing yourself?
Yes.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Did you see on here where you have the right to a jury trial, especially these rights I'm pointing at right here in the middle of page 1?
Yes.
And do you understand that by entering this plea, you're giving up that right to a jury trial and your case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
All right, do you have any questions for me about anything on this document or anything else before I pivot to your facts of your case? All right, Mr. Carr, you're 21 years of age or older,
Yes.
and have you used a NOLO on a no insurance in the last 5 years?
No.
All right, and you want me to accept your NOLO for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on June 1st of 2023 and resulted in this charge of operating a motor vehicle with no insurance?
Yes.
Okay. All right, well then I'm going to find that your request for a NOLO is proper and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights in entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I will follow it. Any questions about anything before I sentence?
No.
All right. The sentence of the court then is as follows. Devontae Carr on 23 TK 2581 from June 1st, 23, June 1st of 2023. Count 1, no insurance. I'm going to grant your NOLO. It's 12 months of probation and a fine of $445. I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days, which will allow you, if you choose to pay $445 plus a $30 program fee for a 30 by 30 program. If you're successful in that, then your case will close with no conditions of probation. 31 days from now, if you're unable to get your case closed by those means, then you'll go on probation and the following conditions will kick in. You will then be required to show a valid license to probation, no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products. You'll be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 one-time intake fee. Your case will still close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Do you remember me talking about habeas earlier? Remember reading about it? I'm back to the right sheet right there. Okay. Do you have any other questions that you need me to answer before you and I part ways?
No.
Okay. All right, then I'm gonna pass you off to Mr. Taylor. He's gonna walk you out those double doors. I'm gonna wish you luck. Thank you. Mr. Carr. Benny? All right, if you will, that's right, folks. All right, if you'll raise your right hand for me, you solemnly swear or affirm testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name for me.
Quincy Benny.
All right, and Mr. Benning, you're here on 23 TK 2572, and the case is on page 2. Mr. Benning, my memory is that you were on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint I put up on the wall? Did you understand those rights?
Yes.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
Sir.
You passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes.
And are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes.
page 2,
Yes.
and is this your signature?
Yes.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes.
Okay. Do you understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes.
And you saw that where I'm pointing on the front of the right sheet?
Yes.
And you're giving up that right. Is that what you want to do, is represent yourself at this plea?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial,
Yes.
including these rights here where I'm pointing at in the middle of page 1?
Yes.
And do you wish to give up your right to a jury trial and close this case with a plea?
Yes.
Now, do you have any other questions for me about anything on this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver or anything else before I pivot to the facts of your case?
No, sir.
How old are you?
18.
Okay. I believe that. Perfect, okay. All right, so what Mr. Shepherd has done here is he's crafted a sentence that will put you on the knife edge of losing your license, but you will not actually lose your license unless you get other charges and are convicted of those. Do you understand that? So you hold the keys in your hand, and all you gotta do is not get any more tickets, okay? All right, so did you, here in Spalding County, operate your motor vehicle at a reduced speed of 78 and a 55?
Yes.
All right. Then I'm gonna find that your reduced charge of 23 over plea is proper, and I'm going to grant it. I'm gonna find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights. I've reviewed the recommendation, and I'll follow it. Any questions about anything before I sentence?
No, sir.
All right, do you have any other convictions on your driver's history or anything else?
Or a red light.
Okay, and did you tell Mr. Shepherd that when you were talking? Okay, then good, he's factored it in. All right, you ready for me to sentence? All right, here we go. Mr. Benning, on 23 TK 2572 from June 6th of 2023, count one, speeding, 78 and a 55. I'm gonna find you guilty. It's 12 months probation, $735 is your fine. You may work off your fine with community service work. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, a one-time payment of $25 as an intake fee. You will complete a defensive driving school within 60 days. And the moment you satisfy your obligations to the court, your case will close. So you have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Everything looks good. Any questions I can answer for you about anything, Mr. Benning, before you and I part ways?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'm going to pass you off to Mr. Phillips. He's going to walk you out those double doors and have you go meet with probation. Okay. We'll talk to the late folks. So we'll just work our way this way. What's your name?
Rodney Ramsey.
Now, you want me to bring the other one that's out in the hallway?
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
She would not take a child in the car right quick.
All right.
She right
There
there.
it is. So
Come this way.
Rodney Ramsey, 23 TK 0936.
Come on here.
And she can have, yeah, she can have some $3.
That was beautiful.
All right, so, all right, thank you, Mr. Ramsey. You can grab a seat. What's your name, man? All right, that's Mr. Ramsey, Ms. Noble. You all got that? All right. What's your name? Deshaun Turner.
And Daniel.
All right, and what's your name?
Keisha Daniel.
Thank you, Steve. Okay, so you four were late to court today. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna plead each of you not guilty, and I'm gonna lift your warrants. So we're gonna go, all four of you are in the same place, so I'm gonna plead you back to square one. Unfortunately though, because of the volume of people we already have here, I cannot offer you the opportunity to resolve your case today. You may not be interested in that, but we usually try to offer that to everybody who comes through. But because of the logistics and the volume, I can't do that today. So here's what we're gonna do for y'all. I'm gonna plead all four of you not guilty. I'm gonna reset all four of your cases for jury trials. Now, at the next calendar, be on time. Because if you're late again, you won't come back out of the jury box when you go back in. I'm sure none of the four of y'all will do that, but it's my job to say awkward things like that out loud. So don't be late again. And if by getting here on time next time, if you want to have a conference and see about resolving your case, you can do it on that court. So that's what we're gonna do with the four of y'all and plead you not guilty and put you on a jury trial calendar. You can certainly have a jury trial if you want one. Don't let me stand in the way of that. But if you want to resolve your case, you can do so at your next court date, assuming you're on time. All right.
I have a ticket, so what I have still pay, can I go
Yeah,
on?
and that's what I was gonna say. I don't remember all of your charges, but if your tickets are payable, and if you want to pay them, you may certainly do so and be released from your next court date. I just don't know if, I don't know, if your tickets are not payable, then you gotta come. I just can't remember who's got what. So if your tickets are payable, and if you wanna pay them, you can do that before your next court
And I
date.
won't have to come to the next?
And you will not have to come back. But if your tickets are not payable, then you have to come either way. So, okay, y'all have any questions? All right,
The date.
they're about to give it to you. So what I'm gonna do is have all four of you all come out. You're gonna go out into the hallway out here. And the bailiffs are each gonna have y'all sign reset notices, giving you the dates and telling you when to come back. And each of you have the right to have an attorney, so if you wish to speak to the public defender's office, you're about to get that information. Jump back into what we have next. I have another Nalcross. It's on page, I'm marking my own pages, so I've marked as page 7, top case, Flores. Nalcross. Is Flores here? Okay, good. This works for me. All right, that one's yours. And then I have another Nalcross, Darius Evans. Page 6, 23 TK 1682. Okay. All right, and do I have Terry Fuller present?
Yes, sir.
All right, if you'll come on up. All right, if you will please grab that mic and pull it up. It's for short folks like me and tall folks like you. All right, if you'll raise your right hand for me, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name for me.
Terry Fuller.
All right, Mr. Fuller, you're here on 23 TK 2513. And according to my calendar, you are on time for court. Is that correct?
Correct.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom? And did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, I did.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, I did.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
No, sir.
All right. You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document as the written version of the rights I read out earlier?
Yes, I do.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature?
Yes, I do.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to have an attorney, and there's a big paragraph here where I'm pointing on page 1 about rights to have an attorney. Do you understand that you have that right?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
And you have the right to a jury trial, and of course the rights inside a jury trial are right here where I'm pointing also on page 1. Do you understand that by entering this plea, you're giving up the right to a trial?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions for me about anything on this document before I pivot to the facts of your case?
No, I do not.
All right, Mr. Fuller, you're charged with speeding 83 and a 55, and that you did here in Spalding County on May 30th of 2023, operate your motor vehicle at 83 and a 55. Am I correct that you wish to do a no-load plea on that?
Yes, sir.
Have you used a no-load plea on a moving violation in the last 5 years?
No, I haven't.
And are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes, I am.
All right, and that's your only charge. All right, so I'm gonna find that your request for a no-load is proper, and I'm gonna grant it. I'm gonna find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation, and I'll follow it. Do you have any questions for me about anything before I sentence?
No, I do not.
Okay. Mr. Fuller, on 23 TK 2513 from May 30th of 2023, count one speeding, 83 and a 55, and grant you no load. It's 12 months probation, 735 is your fine. Now, I'm gonna delay the start of your probation by 30 days. And if you pay $735 plus $30 by participating in our 30 by 30 program, then your case will close without probation conditions. If, however, you're unable to achieve that, no big deal. The probation just simply starts 31 days from then, or from now, excuse me. And if it does do that, the conditions will be as follows. You will show your valid license to probation. You'll have no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, and you'll be tested for those. You will have a Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, a one-time payment of $25 as an intake fee, and your case will still close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. If 30 days from today, if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 6 months from today, if you wish to use your habeas rights. Do you remember me talking about habeas earlier?
Yes, I do.
And do you remember reading about it on the back of the right sheet, right there? All right, can I answer any questions for you about anything before you and I part ways?
No, sir.
All right, oh, sorry. All right, if you'll walk with Mr. Hadaway out those double doors, I'll have you give me the probation, and then we'll go from there. Okay. That's 4. Okay, so, anybody late that I need to address?
That was it. Yeah.
Okay, just making sure before. All right, so it's 3:15.
I got 2 right here.
You got 2 that are almost ready? Okay, we're at ease then until they're ready. Just sit tight. Mrs. Giles? Oh, looks like I have,
There's two jobs.
oh, there's two Giles, sorry. Let's start with Tisha Giles. And I understand we may not have your name exactly correct, so let's just do this. Raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. All right, and what is your full name?
Tisha Pack.
Okay, is that a new last name, or
It's
did
my
we have
maiden,
something
it's
wrong?
my maiden name. I got pulled over when I was married.
Okay, so Giles was your married name, and Pack is your maiden name.
Yes.
And how would you like us to refer to you in our records?
Pack.
Pack. Okay, give me just a second. And when you divorced, you legally changed your name back?
Yes.
Put it mic down. There you
Are you still, is it LaShawn?
Yes.
And do you have your license with you by any chance?
I do.
Okay. If you'll let us make a copy of that so that I can just confirm that what I just typed in there was accurate, if you'll just make a copy of it. Okay, then Ms. Pack, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna mark out Giles on each of these items, and you're just gonna be Pack, as we go. All right, so, Ms. Pack, I got that right, correct?
Yes.
Excellent. So, state your full legal name, first, middle, last.
Tisha LaShawn Pack.
Excellent. Ms. Pack, you were on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes.
And did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights? No. Ms. Pack, you have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document that I'm holding up?
I do.
And do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes.
page 2,
Yes.
and is this your signature?
It is.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it,
Yes.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes.
Ms. Pack, do you understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
I do.
And you remember the paragraph I'm pointing at here about all of what an attorney would do for you?
Yes.
And you understand that you're waiving that right?
Yes.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
You understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes.
And that I'm pointing here to the rights included in the jury trial. Do you understand you're giving up those rights?
Yes.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Do you have any other questions for me about anything on this right sheet or anything else before I pivot to the facts of your case?
I do not.
Ms. Pack, you are charged with 1 count of speeding, 62 and a 35. Have you used a NOLO on a moving violation in the last 5 years?
I have not.
And are you asking me to accept a NOLO for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on June 3rd of 2023 and resulted in this charge of speeding, 62 and a 35?
Yes.
I'm going to find that your request for a NOLO is proper and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that you are knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow it. Any questions about anything before I sentence?
No.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
All right, Tisha LaShawn Pack on 23 TK 2591 from June 3rd of 2023, count 1, speeding, 62 and a 35. I'm going to grant your NOLO. It's 12 months probation, 735 is your fine. Now, I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days. What that means is, in the next 30 days, if you pay $30 plus the 735 to the Spalding County Sentence Enforcement, then your case will close with no conditions of probation. 31 days from now, if you're unable to close it, your probation will start, and the conditions will be that you must show your valid license to probation, no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, and you'll be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 one-time intake fee, and your case will still close the moment you satisfied your obligations to the court. You'll just have more obligations. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 6 months from today if you want to use your habeas rights. Do you have any questions about anything for me before you and I part ways?
I do not.
All right, well then I'm going to pass you off to Mr. Taylor. He is going to walk you back out those double doors and have you go meet with probation. Good luck to you now. Okay. All right. Maya Giles. If you'll please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right. If you'll take your hand down and lean to that microphone and just state your full name for me.
My job.
All right. And Ms. Giles, you, according to my calendar, were on time for court today. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes.
Do you understand those rights?
Yes.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
No.
Ms. Giles, you have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document that I'm holding up?
Yes.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes.
page 2,
Yes.
and is this your signature?
Yes.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes.
Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything on this document?
No.
Ms. Giles, you have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
You understand that you have the right to a jury trial,
Yes.
and that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Do you, Ms. Giles, do you have any other questions for me before I pivot to the facts of your case?
No.
Have you used a NOLO on a no insurance charge in the last 5 years?
No.
And are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes.
And are you asking me to accept the NOLO for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on June 2nd of 2023 and resulted in this no insurance charge?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to find that your request for a NOLO is proper, and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I've reviewed the recommendation, and I will follow it. Any questions about anything before I send this?
No.
Okay. Ms. Giles, the sentence of the court then is as follows. On June 2nd, 2023, for 23 TK 2590, Maya Giles, on count 1, no insurance, I'm going to grant you NOLO. It's 12 months probation, a fine of $445. I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days. And if you are able to pay off your fine in full plus $30 within the next 30 days, then you'll be participating in our 30 by 30 program, and your case will close with no conditions of probation. If you're unsuccessful in closing your case in the next 30 days, it's no problem. Your probation will just simply start after that, at which point you will need to obtain a valid driver's license and show it to probation. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, and be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, and your case will still close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Do you remember me talking about habeas earlier?
Yes.
And do you remember reading about it on the back of the right sheet, right there?
Yes.
Okay. Are you a United States citizen?
Yes.
You just missed that line. I'm gonna make sure that. All right, let me check one thing, and I think we're good. Okay. Mr. Hadaway's gonna walk you out those double doors and have you meet with probation. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Height, 6. Raise. After I tell her.
All right, Cameron Gunn Folds. All right, if you please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, take it down, state your full name for me.
Cameron Gunn Folds.
All right, now is that a hyphenated last name, Gunn Folds?
No.
It's just two words last name?
Yep.
All right, so Mr. Gunn Folds, you were, there we go. All right, so you were on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
No, sir.
Mr. Gunn Folds, you have passed up to me the self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document that I'm holding up?
Yes.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes.
page 2?
Yes.
Is this your signature?
Yes.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes.
because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes.
All right, let's go off record, because if we slow Miss Middleton down, everything stops.
Thank you. Can I please see the following people through these double doors? Delether O'Neill, Vanessa Rowland, Michael Sloan, Troy Smith, Jasmine Terrell, Tavares Veal, and Princess Watson. Thank you.
Okay. All right, back on record with Mr. Gunn Folds. Mr. Gunn Folds, do you have any other questions for me about anything on this document before I pivot to the facts of your case?
No, sir.
All right, so, did you hear in Spalding County back on May 23rd of 2023, operate your motor vehicle at a reduced speed of 68 miles an hour in a 45 mile an hour zone?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna find, how old are you?
19.
Okay. I'm gonna find with your admission of guilt to the reduced charge that there's enough for you to take a plea. I'm gonna find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights to enter this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow it. Any questions before I sentence?
No, sir.
You ready? Okay. Cameron Gunn Folds on 23 TK 2340 from May 23rd, 2023. As to speeding, I'm on 68 and a 45. I'm going to find you guilty. The 68 and a 45, unless I'm mistaken, is 23 over the speed limit. Yep. And so what that's going to do is that's going to put you on the knife edge as a person under 21 of losing your license. Either you will not get any more tickets and you'll get to keep your license, or you'll get more tickets and lose your license. You completely hold the keys to your future in your hand. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So like I said, if you get another ticket and you lose your license, you will have no one to look at but yourself. It's your responsibility not to get any more tickets, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, so that's guilty, 12 months, 735 is your fine. You can work off your fine with community service work. Show your valid license to probation. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. Defensive driving school must be completed within 60 days or have been completed previous or after your ticket date. And then the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court, your case will close. So you're only on probation as long as it takes you to get your case resolved. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Do you remember me talking about habeas earlier?
Yes, sir.
All right, can I answer any questions for you about anything before you and I part ways?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Taylor's gonna walk you out those double doors and have you go meet with probation. Good luck to you, sir. Slow down, young man. Joseph Guy. All right, I have a note that you're under 21, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You must be dad? All right. All right, Mr. Guy, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name for me.
Joseph Taylor Guy.
All right, Mr. Guy, you're on 23 TK 1348. And according to my calendar, you were on time for court, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
No, sir.
Mr. Guy, you, yeah, this will work. All right, you have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document
Yes,
after
sir.
having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And you remember reading about it on the document here,
I do.
as well as me talking about it earlier?
Yes, sir.
And the same thing with jury trial, you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
I do.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Mr. Guy, do you have any questions about the self-represented defendant plea rights waiver or anything else before I pivot to the facts of your case?
No.
All right, so moving over to the facts of your case, it says that you did here in Spalding County, back on March 20th of 2023, operate your motor vehicle at a reduced speed of 78 miles an hour in a 55 mile an hour zone, which, as you heard me say with the individual before you, is 23 over, which means that if you go forward and get no additional tickets, you get to keep your license. But if you get additional tickets, you will lose your license by operation of Georgia law. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
So you're on the knife edge of losing it. And our goal, of course, is for you to keep it, but you got some skin in the game, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, all right, then you operated your motor vehicle at 78 and a 55. I'm going to find with your admission of guilt, there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights. I reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow it. Any questions about anything I can answer before I sentence?
No, sir.
Dad, any questions about anything before I sentence?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, then, I'm this guy on 23 TK 1348 for March 20th of 2023. I'm going to find you guilty of the reduced charge of speeding 78 and 55. It's 12 months probation, $735 is your fine. You may work off your fine with community service work. Show your valid license to probation. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 one-time intake fee, 20 hours of community service work, defensive driving course within 60 days, and your case will close the minute you've satisfied your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Do you remember talking about habeas earlier?
Yes, sir.
All right, and you remember reading about it on the back of the right sheet?
Yes, sir.
Right there. All right, anything else from you, young man, before we part ways?
No, sir.
All right, Dad, any questions I can answer for you?
No, sir.
Okay, well, best of luck to both of you, and if y'all want to step out with Mr. Phillips out the double doors, you can meet with probation. Hawkins. Go ahead, this one, and I'll take a look. All right. Ms. Hawkins, if you'll please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right. Take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Dawn McCoy Hawkins.
All right. And Ms. Hawkins, you were on time for court today, according to my calendar. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about any of those rights?
No, sir.
Ms. Hawkins, you have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document that I'm holding up?
Yes, sir.
Are those your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes.
page 2,
Yes, sir.
and is this your signature?
It is.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it,
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Correct.
All right. You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
And you have the right to a jury trial, and by entering this plea, there will be no trial. This case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have any questions about anything on this right sheet or anything else you can think of before I pivot to the facts of your case?
No, sir.
All right, Ms. Hawkins, you're charged with count 1, speeding 55 in a 35, and you're wanting to do a no-low on that charge. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes, sir.
And have you used a no-low in the last 5 years? Actually, I'll go ahead and ask, have you used a no-low in the last 5 years on either a moving violation or a no insurance charge?
No, sir.
Okay, perfect. I know I said there's one no-low, but there's super technically 5. But I don't go into all that in the initial announcement because it gets everybody very confused.
Okay.
So the short answer is that you have 2 different classes of charges. You'd like to use a no-low on each. You qualify. And so, assuming that's what you want me to do, I'll be granting that.
I do. Thank you.
Okay. So, Ms. Hawkins, you have the no insurance charge during the same course of events from June 8th of 2023. Do you want to use your no-low on that charge as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Perfect. So then, Ms. Hawkins, I'm going to find that your request for no-low on each of your 2 charges is proper, and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights in entering this plea. I've reviewed the recommendation. I'm going to follow it exactly the way you've negotiated it. Are there any questions I can answer for you, ma'am, about
No, sir.
anything before we finish?
No, sir. Thank you.
You ready for me to sentence?
I am.
Okay. Dawn Hawkins on 23 TK 2769 from June 8th of 2023. Count 1, speeding, 55 and a 35. I'm going to grant your no-low. It's 12 months probation, 155 is your fine. Count 3, no insurance. I'm going to grant your no-low. It's 12 months probation, 445 is your fine. Okay, so count 2 is going to be dismissed. I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days. And if you're able to pay your fines off in full plus $30 by participating in our 30 for 30 program, then I will allow your case to close without probation conditions. However, if you're unable to pay your fine off plus $30 in the next 30 days, then your probation will simply start at 31 days from now. And at that point, the sentence will be that you will need to show your valid driver's license to probation, have alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products. You will be tested for such, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 one-time intake fee, and your case will still close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Any questions of anything before sentence?
No, sir.
Okay. If you will head on out those double doors, Mr. Hadaway's going to walk you out. I need to put one for you. So you can go on out those double doors. Mr. Hadaway will meet you out there.
Thank you very much.
Some of the data was missing in the database. All right, Mr. Jones. please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name for me.
Aisha Chantrell Jones.
All right, and Ms. Jones, you're here on 23 TK 1945. And according to my calendar, you are on time for court, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
No, sir.
All right, and Ms. Jones, you have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document that I'm holding out?
Yes, sir.
All right. Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it,
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you,
Yes, sir.
and you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial,
Yes, sir.
and that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, this case will be closed? Is that what you want?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Jones, do you have any other questions for me about anything other than this, on the separate self-represented defendant plea rights waiver, or anything else before I pivot to the facts of your case?
No, sir.
All right, so are you asking me to accept a no-low on this no insurance charge?
Yes, sir.
Have you used a no-low on a no insurance charge in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
And you're 21 years of age or older?
Yes.
Okay. And you would like me to accept that for driving that occurred on April 22nd, 2023, and results in this charge of no insurance, correct? Excellent. All right, then I'm going to find that your request for a no-low is proper, and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights to enter this plea. I'll review the recommendation, and I'll follow it. Any questions, Ms. Jones, about anything before I send this?
No, sir.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
Here we go. Aisha Jones, 23 TK 1945, from April 22nd, 2023. Count 1, no insurance, no low, 12 months, $445 is your fine. I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days and allow you the opportunity to participate in our 30 for 30 program, which means that if you're able to pay your fine in full plus $30 as a program fee, participation fee, your case will close without probation conditions. If you're unable to pay it off, then 31 days from today, your probation will officially start automatically, and you will need to show a valid license to probation, have no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products. You will be subject to a Fourth Amendment search, a waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, and your case will still close the moment you satisfy your obligations. You'll just need to satisfy the probation obligations. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Do you remember me talking about habeas earlier?
Yes.
You remember reading about it on the back of the right sheet right
Yes.
there? All right, do you need anything else from me? Any questions at all before you and I part ways?
No, sir.
Okay, then I'm going to pass off to Ms. Phillips. It's 3:46. I'm going to take, you can go on now.
Okay, thank
I'm
you.
going to take a 15-minute break, y'all. So Miss Middleton's still going to be coming through here and calling names. So if you do step to the restroom, just do it quickly and get back to your seats. Because when she comes back through, she should be grabbing all of you all left. That y'all are about right for the next group that she would go. With that said, I do have one non-pros. Lewis, Chantrice Lewis is a non-pros. And that's officially everything I have on my desk at this moment. Okay, we're in recess till 4. All right, everybody, let's come back to order. I've got a good stack of stuff to work our way through. All right, so couple of null processes. Let's get those knocked out. So the first null process I have is Mullis. There it is, Richard Mullis. All right, there's one. Next null process I have is Aurelius Nash, 2 spots down from there. Next null process I have is Roland. There it is. Without my page numbers, I'm a little turned around, but 23 TK 2874. All right, and then last null process Slane. Ms. Mays, you can come on up while I'm signing this last one. All right, last null process was Sloan, Michael Sloan. Okay. There it is. All right, if you will please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Cedriana Mays.
All right, and Ms. Mays, you were here on 23 TK 1181. Am I correct that you were on time for court this afternoon?
Yes.
Did you hear the rights are read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
No, sir.
Ms. Mays, you have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document that I'm holding up?
Yes, sir.
Are those your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
as well as page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about anything on this document?
No, sir.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to a jury trial, and by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have any other questions for me about any of these rights or anything else before I pivot to the facts of the case?
No, sir.
All right. Ms. Mays, you are 23 TK 1181. You're charged with 1 count of speeding, 77 and 55. Did you operate your motor vehicle at that speed here in Spalding County on March 11th of 2023?
Yes, sir.
And then did you also operate your motor vehicle like the tag was expired?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to find with your admission of guilt as to counts 1 and then a reduced version of count 2 that there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm going to find that you were knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering a plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I will follow it. Any questions about anything before I sentence?
No, sir.
You ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. And it is Cedriana Mays.
Cedriana Mays.
Cedriana Mays. All right, 23 TK 1181 from March 11th of 2023. Count 1, speeding, 77 and 55. I'm going to find you guilty. It's 12 months probation, $213 is your fine. Count 2, expired tag. I'm also going to find you guilty, and the fine is 12 months probation, and 155 is your fine. Now, I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days, and if you can pay your fine in full, plus $30 by participating in our 30 by 30 program, then your case will close without probation conditions. 31 days from now, if you're unable to get your case closed, your probation will automatically start, and the following conditions will you'll be responsible for them. You will then need to additionally obtain a valid driver's license or show your valid license to probation. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, and you'll be tested for those. You will have a Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 one-time intake fee, and your case will still close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Do you understand, everything that I've gone over with you?
Yes.
And are there any questions I can answer for you about anything before you and I part ways?
No.
Okay? And I'm going to pass you off, to, Mr. Phillips, who's gonna walk you out. You what? It's ASL. This is ASL. It's something, I remember it was hard to find. Maybe it was speech. I remember that thing is not what it's used to be.
Judge,
Yes.
she got 2 cases. She need 2 write sheets.
Oh, no, just one. Sign, that's what it was. So it should say American Sign Language, but it just says, or even just sign language, but it just says sign. And I can't find where to change that. I hunted that list, and I can't find it to change it ASL. Okay. All right, may I see O'Neill, please? There, just set that down.
Thank you. It is, thank you.
All right, Ms. O'Neill, if you'll please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Sir, yes, sir, I do.
All right, if you'll take your hand down and state your full name for me.
Delita O'Neill.
All right, and Ms. O'Neill, you are here today on 23 TK 2202. And according to my calendar, you were on time for court, is that correct?
Sir, yes, sir, I was.
All right, and did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes,
Did you understand those rights?
I did, yes.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
There is not, no.
Ms. O'Neill, you have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
They are, yes, sir.
Okay, and you missed one, but I assume that's just an oversight.
All right, I'm
I'll get you-
sorry.
No, it's okay. It happens. So if you'll just initial that one.
Yes, sir.
All right, so now you've initialed all the lines on page 1, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, and then page 2?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature?
It is, yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the, is that what you want to do?
No, sir.
Well, do you want to represent yourself?
I am, yes, sir.
Okay. And do you want me to take this plea with you representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
It is, yes, sir.
Ms. O'Neill, you want to do a no-load plea, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Have you used a no-load plea on a moving violation in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
Okay. And are you wanting to use your no-load on a reduced charge of improper vacuum?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That'll work. Okay. No problem. Got it. Okay, and then and that's from May 8th of 2023 here in Spalding County.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna find that your request for a NOLA on the reduced charge of improper backing is proper and I'm gonna grant it. I'm gonna find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights in entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow it. Any questions about anything? Any questions about anything before a sentence?
Not at all, no, sir.
All right, so is the fine $155? Is that what y'all discussed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then The sentence of the court then is the NOLA is granted, the fine is $155. You have those funds today.
I'm gonna pay it, wish to pay it today, yes, sir.
Then therefore I'll not be placing you on probation. Instead, will allow you to make the payment and close your case. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. What's going to happen next is the bailiff's going to walk you down to the clerk's office. Once you have the receipt in hand, you'll be free to go.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Thank you very
Have a
much.
good day.
You too. All right, I have another Malcolmus, Princess Watson.